Today on One Man Garage, it's part 2, working on the disc brake conversion on the Star Chief. Got parts on order at AutoZone online for delivery tomorrow. And that would be reman calipers, new brake hoses, new master cylinder, and new urethane ball joint boots. But here you go. Got that ball joint unbolted. It's got a metal retainer plate for that boot we're going to try to replace, so hopefully I can get a boot that'll go in that metal retainer or use it. It's also a part number 5339 on that ball joint. The ball joint's good, doesn't have slop in it, so good. About to take these caliper bolts out. Funny, these early ones have hex head bolts instead of Allen head bolts like the ones I'm used to working on. It's interesting. These Pep Boys Wagner brakes, whatever, brand new. I mean, this thing looks like it was barely driven. So, saving money. Saving money. Now we gotta see if the piston compresses. Even though I took the lines off, it probably rusted. But these are cheap remanufactured options out there. Calipers are stuck like Chuck, so we're not going to mess with that. We're going to swap them out and get some new hoses ordered at Rock Auto while we're hunting down a boot. Or a whole nother ball joint, whatever's easier. As soon as I can get that ball joint done, we can go ahead and put these on minus the calipers. Right side off, faster than the left side. Got the right ball joint out. It also, of course, needs a boot, but it's broken in, but does not have slop. Not up and down slop, you know, like that. It just moves, so it's fine. The other boots are gonna not be retained. The other boots aren't gonna be retained under here because I'm not finding anything in that dimension, because the bolts that go through that. So what's gonna be is a slip over boot. So I'll probably like brake clean this real good and silicone RTV the bottom of the urethane boot to stick to this metal plate. You know, assuming it might have to be after I put the ball joint in. No, it'd be before, sorry. As long as it clears the bolts is what I mean. I could like silicone the boot on, then bolt it on, and then it'll grease from the top and fill the boot after it's assembled, because the squish of the installed spindle will squish the urethane tight anyway. Probably wouldn't even have to put sealant, but I just thought maybe glue it to the plate if the plate's clean. I don't know, we'll see when it gets here later in the week. Got some boxes in today, AutoZone, and the other one must be the dust boots. So we have a little box opening video. AutoZone said be here today, and it was here. So the little box was my Duralast brake hoses from AutoZone, same order. Here's a neat thing. The new GM master cylinder for disc brakes is aluminum. AutoZone NM1521. That could be used on a bunch of cars. So now that we know, aluminum, it's light. Holy, well anyway, that's a cool surprise. And then here's the remanufactured painted silver, so it'll look like chrome and go faster. Left and right calipers. C502, C503 is 6970 Bonneville disc brakes, but also 71 to up K5, K10 four-wheel drive half ton. That's the same calipers as the 6970 Pontiac disc brakes for the big car. The calipers are K10, K5. Didn't know that till I looked at application. So that's pretty slick. Of course, we can't assemble really anything until we get our polyurethane little ball joint dust boots so I can put the spindles on. So this is just here. I got to get my core returned. Vietnam, where was this made? China, Mexico. Wow. And then this was Thailand, misspelled, Thailandia. Oh, okay, well, whatever. So this is an international build. We're you know, crossing borders, just like the southern one that's wide open. Well, it's Thursday, and got my energy suspension part 9.13128G for the GM ball joint boots, because we were just gonna silicone the bottom with the ultra black straight to here because we won't have the lip to retain it here. But it actually looks like we can reuse these covers in a way. See that it actually snugly goes in there. So what I'm going to do is glue these on first, let that dry, then I will slip this over the top with a little more silicone on the outside. And you can see that the shank hole fits too, so these were a perfect fit. Recommended. Well, went on there real nice. Now just let that dry, and then we'll just slip those over afterwards. Calipers are bolted up, by the way. Well, in my messy little workspace, I'm gonna put the bolts from the bottom up and bolt this stuff back together. Put the nuts on top, I think. Just like that. Passenger ball joint rebooted, installed, cleaned the Zerk fitting. Not rebooting the top because this is all encapsulated from the clampy thing, and I think it's double boot stacked from previous and whatever. We're not messing with it. We're going to grease it, and that's it. I had a few seconds and put a new grease fitting up here. Nice. Brand new. I swear. Focus, focus. Gonna try something. Oh, hopefully it'll work. Kind of heavy. Gosh, it's heavy. Yeah, I had to get the jack under there to get the nut started. Way too precarious otherwise. A little frustrating. I got the nut tightened up all the way and put weight under it to compress the spring, but it's picking up the car before I can get the upper in. That's a little bit of a bummer. I kind of expected it to go a little easier than that. Fun, not really. Intermission. Gonna try something. Don't laugh. Could have been farts. Maybe that's not working. After y'all laughing at me because I might have farted, I removed from under here the bushing that limits how far the A-frame drops, and a little bit of C-clamp, and got it down far enough to get the nuts started. So there you go. So next day, we got the nuts started yesterday, so that should allow me to move the jack under the rotor to get the rest of the compression, because I got to get it pushed up high enough to not spin the shaft thing. Let's see. Oh, well, that sucks. Thought I had more threads. And back to the drawing board. I was able to get it restarted again between the C-clamp and the jack. So maybe this time I can jack up on the rotor, because you have to compress it out near the wheel mounting to get better effect from the weight of the car. The more you move the jack, like under the coil spring, you don't get the leverage that you need to compress, because you really have to get that tapered conical, ball joint's got to get shoved into the spindles all the way, so you'll be able to tighten the nut. Let me go get a hammer. I think that's working. Looks like the gap's closing in on the boot. Might just barely got it enough. I don't think I'm going to be putting that bushing back in. That's fine. Other side, I don't have the A-frame bushings changed yet. I started pulling that apart, but the no fun part is trying to get the rusted sleeves out of the A-frame without damaging the A-frame. So up. I don't know if I'll even try to put the lower ball joint part of the spindle in if I don't have the upper, because it would be flopping around, you know. These will have to go back and get cotter pins and greased. I'm just going snug right now. That's good. At least we got one. And then of course, I know y'all see that surface rust on these rotors, but these were perfectly smooth. Fresh turn when the car sat up, the other car. So these will just self-clean as soon as we start driving. And these rotors are not reproduced, so it's all the more reason if you have a runnable set of rotors, you need to just run them, throw pads on it, because that's the only hang-up of swapping these 6970 Pontiac factory disc brakes to your 65 to 68 drum brake car. You can get those calipers and hoses no problem, but this exact caliper is not reproduced. So, but used parts are good. Everything doesn't have to be turned and brand new every time you use it, you know. So, small victory there. I went ahead, I'm gonna go ahead and get this ball joint on the driver's side going. So, going together pretty easy. We'll just be at a stopping point until I get the hard brake line swapped. And, you know, whatever. Well, it's raining, it's loud. Got the idler arm connected and the lower ball joint tightened up all the way. So now I'm just gonna be delayed till I get that finished up so I get that back on. Also, there's the push rod that goes in the back of the Master. It's too long for the new Master, and it doesn't pull out of the booster like the later models. So I'm gonna have to shorten the rod that's sticking out of the booster while it's on the car. So I'm gonna have to measure the difference of the depths of the holes and then mark it and then snip it off sometime today. Well, I got the sleeves and the rubber chunks out and the shaft out. So really it's just the stuck outer sleeves, but there's no more rubber there, so I may just get the old Coleman fuel with the torch head and throw the heat down, cook it up real good, get it broke loose. Rainy December Fridays at One Man Garage aren't the greatest, but it's not that cold, so progress is still happening. I came out here and used the torch, heated up the sleeves, got some good wax with the hammer, was able to kind of get a free shot, and got those out. So I guess we're going to attempt some reassembly. I bought these a while back, these Mevotech, I don't know, there's a number, MK5189 upper A-frame bushings for this car. So we're going to try to get it going. 1.5 inch socket's a good fit for the lip. If I can drive one side in, then I can drop the shaft in and then work the other side in. I didn't expect that to go so well, but I squared this up on the ground and hit the A-frame in 2 places and got one in already. How about that? Shaft in place, just finger tight, washer and bolt. Straighten that up and shove the bushing on. I think he's figuring this out. A little brass hammer action. Brass from my high school. We had a metal shop, I actually forged brass hammers a couple years before I was there. It's coming together. Got the A-frame on, shims tightened up, C-clamp. About to get the nut up on there. Well, the rain sucks and it's torque-related, so not driving yet, but the car's got disc brakes. Yeah, buddy. How about that? Well, that's going to wrap up today's part 2 episode on the disc brake swap for the 66 Star Chief over yonder. We still got to do the brake lines and master cylinder stuff, so that'll be coming up next. Probably get going on it tomorrow. I'm pretty sure the weather will be a lot better. And thanks for watching. It's coming along pretty good.